There will never be any closure in this case. The Germans and the Williams family lost their daughters, their granddaughters, their siblings. Justice, a form of justice was served, but it does not bring Abby or Libby back.
130 years in prison, the maximum sentence handed down to Richard Allen in the deaths of Libby German and Abby Williams, 65 years for each murder.
The girls' bodies were discovered along the Monon Trail in 2017. In November, a jury found Allen guilty on all counts against him, including 2 counts of murder. This morning, families of both girls gave impact statements, and Allen's attorneys say his client maintains his innocence and looking forward to the appeals process.
There is a press conference happening right now with Abby and Libby's families, Indiana State Police, and several other law enforcement agencies. Let's listen in.
Bring peace to the Patties, the Germans, or the Williams. I don't know what at this point could ever bring peace to a family member that loses a child or a parent that loses a child. What I hope is what I said. I hope it's a sigh of relief that this portion is over and that the conviction as it is now stands and that he's been sentenced to the maximum possible sentence. I hope that is a sigh of relief for them. And I hope that they now, like Superintendent Carter, can continue to heal and start to put this chapter behind them. That's why the plea to the media, please do not recirculate those pictures, because all that does, as Mr. Erskine said in his victim impact statement, it's like a scab or a wound that scabs over that is constantly ripped open. It's a constant reminder that our loved ones are put in this vulnerable position.
Nick, should people face criminal charges or any kind of charges if they do publish or share those pictures?
My opinion is if the Indiana Code allows criminal charges to be pressed for those kind of thing, if something comes in my office, criminal charges will be pursued if the criminal code allows it.
Superintendent Carter, can you speak to the number?
Well, he can ask some questions after we're done here. So,
would you concede that there are some holes in this case or things that cannot be explained that you guys were not able to explain?
I'm not going to concede that. No. Go ahead.
The judge spoke today to the defendant's conduct, specifically him rolling his eyes throughout the trial. Your take from your professional perspective, you've tried other cases, I'm sure you've watched him throughout the case. What was your reaction to how he was acting?
It's hard for me to see him because the way we were seated, especially during the trial, we were kind of all crammed. We call it the well. We're kind of all crammed in there, so it's kind of hard for me to focus on him. And the way I try cases is I'm pretty focused on what I'm doing, and I try not to get sucked into the reactions of other people. I like to watch what the jury's reactions to certain things are. And so a lot of the stuff that she commented on, I didn't see from him. What I did notice from him is what I said in my sentencing recommendation, just the lack of remorse and the lack of regret, the lack of emotion, I guess, when the images of the victims are put up on the screen. You know, as a father, when I see those things, and you've probably seen me up here and other places, I get a little emotional about it, and it's hard not to. And so the lack of those things kind of struck me. I didn't see him roll in the eyes of the judge, of course, but obviously never a good thing to do. So those are my comments on that.
And we have been listening in to a press conference live in Carroll County after Richard Allen, who was convicted of murdering Abby Williams and Libby German back in 2017, was sentenced to 130 years behind bars today by Judge Fran Gull. You were just listening to the prosecutor. We have also heard from Indiana State Police at this press conference as well, and we are expected to hear from the family. So we'll continue to follow this story on air and online at 21alivenews.com.